Mother Leeds lived in a quaint home with her husband and their 12 children. She was living a quiet, typical life of the time until she found herself pregnant yet again with her 13th child. One day, especially overwhelmed and distraught about her latest pregnancy, she raised her hands to the heavens and proclaimed, "Let this one be the devil!" The months passed and nobody thought anything about the declaration. Then, one especially dark and stormy night, Mother Leeds went into labor. Mr. Leeds sent for the local midwives to assist in the birth while he and the 12 children waited impatiently in the next room. The birth went well and Mother Leeds gave birth to a healthy baby boy. But soon after the delivery, something terrifying and unholy happened. The seemingly normal baby boy started changing in appearance right before everyone's eyes. As the infant's cries grew louder, horns began to sprout from its head. Then, talon-like claws tore through the tips of his fingers. Finally, leathery bat-like wings sprouted from its back, along with hair and feathers growing rapidly all over its infant's body. When the devilish infant opened its eyes, they glowed red. Suddenly, the creature attacked its mother, killing her before turning on the midwives in the room. It flew at them, wailing its unearthly shrieks, while clawing and biting, tearing at the terrified women, maiming some and killing others. The monster then knocked down the door and attacked its father and its siblings, killing as many as it could before flying up the chimney, escaping into the darkness of the pine barrens, terrorizing the surrounding homes and snatching young children. The creature impacted the area so much that a local priest exorcised the devil for 100 years, but the exorcism didn't work, and the Jersey Devil soon returned. To this day, the horrifying creature known as the Jersey Devil or the Leeds Devil claims the Pine Barrens as its own, terrorizing anyone unfortunate enough to encounter the beast. The legend of the Jersey Devil is one of the oldest, most enduring to come from the Garden State. It has been told many times in its almost 300-year history, and today there are several different versions, but one thing remains the same throughout is the description of the beast. The Jersey Devil is usually described as having a head of a horse or a goat, the body of a kangaroo, wings of a bat, and feet of a pig. One of the many versions told about the Jersey Devil is that Mother Leeds invoked the devil during her very painful labor, and when the baby was born, it grew into a full-grown devil and escaped the house, terrorizing the surrounding area. Other versions told throughout the centuries say that the devil child was the result of a family curse, or that Mother Leeds was a Quaker who refused to convert away from her faith, so the clergyman who was trying to convert her declared in anger that her next child will be the offspring of Satan. Then there is the version that indeed Mother Leeds gave birth to a monster child, but she cared for the infant until her death. Then the devil child flew into the swamps. Throughout the centuries since the birth of the legend, many people have claimed to see the monster. There have been more than 2,000 reports from as far north as Patterson and as far south as Burley. There have been sightings in Pennsylvania and Delaware as well. Around the beginning of the 1800s, many residents reported seeing the devil. In 1820, former King of Spain, Napoleon Bonaparte's older brother, Joseph, claimed to have seen the beast while out hunting. Although his claim lacked detail, it was enough to start the reports of various encounters. And in 1840, several livestock killings were blamed on the Jersey Devil. One of the more famous encounters occurred in 1909 when Commodore Stephen Decatur was out practicing shooting cannonballs with other members of the Navy. In his report, he claimed that the cannonballs hit the Jersey Devil, but didn't damage it. Witnesses claimed that there were hoof tracks in the snow and that the bloodhounds refused to track it. A picture and article were published in the Ashbury Park Press titled, "What Mysterious Tracks Are These?" Because the report on the incident from the Navy officials, the public was sent into a state of panic. More than 1,000 reports were made by residents, resulting in mayhem with schools surrounding the Pine Barrens closed out of fear of the Jersey Devil. Things calmed down for about 20 years. Then, suddenly in 1927, another report came in. A cab driver in Salem, New Jersey, reported that in the middle of the night he had pulled over for a flat tire. With no street lights during the time, it was pitch dark. When the cab driver got out to fix the tire, he heard terrifying screeches from the woods. And then suddenly, a large creature appeared and attacked him. The driver was able to get back into the car, but the monster continued to pound the vehicle like it was trying to get to him. The man reported the attack to the police, but nobody could determine whether it was an animal attack or the Jersey Devil. In 1960, merchants near Camden, New Jersey, went as far as offering a reward of $10,000 to anyone able to catch the Jersey Devil. If caught, they said that they would build the creature its own zoo. So far, no one has been able to claim that reward. The reports continued to be sporadic, but for the most part it was calm again until 1972, when Mary Richard Christensen reported seeing the monster cross the street behind her while driving down Green Tree Road in southern New Jersey. She claimed the beast appeared in her rearview mirror and had a head like a horse, was standing upright like a man with large haunches and a set of wings. While the area she was driving didn't pass through the Pine Barrens, her story and description matching the legend sparked new beliefs that the monster could fly to various areas outside of the pines. The next mysterious encounter occurred in 1980 in the Warrenton State Forest, smack dab in the middle of the Pine Barrens. The forest is also home to the Bastow Village, which was established in the 1700s. The chief forest ranger at the time received a frantic call to come to the farm right away. When he arrived, he found that all the farmers' pigs had been slaughtered overnight. The most alarming thing? Something had eaten the back of each pig's head. The attack was to be something perched on the backs of the animals that ate their brains. Their backs of the pigs were scratched up, but the rest of the bodies remained untouched. This mystery has never been solved and has been attributed to the Jersey Devil. Two of the most recent sightings reported happened in 2015. David Black claimed to have seen the monster on Route 9 in Egg Harbor Township near a golf course. He said he saw the creature suddenly spread its wings and take flight. He was even able to capture a picture of it. Emily Martin then came forward and shared her video taken 9 miles from Black's encounter. Her video depicts a similar creature, but since both incidences took place around Halloween, many believe their allegations to be pranks. There have been hundreds of books and websites devoted to the Jersey Devil, but many rehash the original story with no reliable evidence to back it. As a result, the story of the Jersey Devil's true origins is still unknown, but there are some interesting history facts that may lend some clues to what inspired the legend. New Jersey was settled around 1620, mostly by members of the religious order Society of Friends, commonly referred to as Quakers. The first royal governor was Edward Hyde, Lord Cornbury, who was remembered as one of the most hated governors of colonial America. He was also accused of being a cross-dresser, which, during that time, was not acceptable and considered a sin. When Lord Cornbury took charge of New Jersey in 1702, one of his counselors was Daniel Leeds, a devout Quaker who was born in Leeds, England. Leeds arrived in New Jersey in 1677. His first wife having died while still in England, he remarried a woman named Anne Stacy in 1681. Anne gave birth to a daughter, but both didn't survive. Daniel then remarried a woman named Dorothy Young and had 8 children by 1699. Unfortunately, Dorothy didn't survive either. He then married for a 3rd time to Jane Abbott Smout. Daniel Leeds also held the title of Surveyor General, and in the 1690s he surveyed and acquired land near the Atlantic coast, which was passed down to his sons. The land became known as Leeds Point and is where the Jersey Devil legend is said to have begun. Daniel began publishing an almanac in 1687, but his astrological data did not please his readers, especially several members of the Quaker meeting who complained that he used inappropriate language, symbols, and names that were too pagan. The notion of predicting the movements of the heavens didn't sit well with Quaker theology. When he went to the next Quaker meeting, he publicly apologized, but the order was sent out regardless to collect and destroy all copies not in circulation. At this point, Daniel determined privately to break from the Quakers and continue his almanac. In 1688, he wrote a book called The Temple of Wisdom, which he paraphrased and outright copied large sections of other authors, mostly from the work of German mystic Jacob Boehme, whose work was considered heretical. Leeds' book included sections on angels, natural magic, astrology, and the behavior of devils. Daniel felt a connection with Jacob, both being self-taught men, having also experienced visions, and called out by religious leaders for their work. Daniel's work showed him to be a Christian occultist, but he was no dark magician. He used astrology to gain a deeper insight into the workings of God and Christianity. Many of his readers, though, were unfamiliar with his perplexing writings and saw him as more of an occultist, and the Quaker Philadelphia meeting suppressed the book. Daniel then went on to publish more works, arguing that the Quaker theology denied the divinity of Christ and accusing them of being anti-monarchist. Daniel was also heavily invested in politics, but when he sided with Lord Cornbury, the Quakers saw him as a turncoat. He then converted to Angelicalism. After his publication in 1695, the Burlington Meeting House accused him of being evil. In the publication, Satan's Hairbringer encountered, being something by the way of answer to Daniel Leeds in 1700s, Daniel stood publicly accused for working for the devil. He then continued to publish his almanac and quarrel with the Quakers until he retired in 1716. He turned his business over to his son, Titan Leeds, who redesigned the publication's banner to include the Leeds family crest, which contained 3 dragon-like figures with fearsome faces, clawed feet, and wings. These figures were known as wyverns and are reminiscent of the later descriptions of the Jersey Devil. Titan soon found himself in one of the most notorious almanac feuds with the up-and-coming Philadelphia printer and soon-to-be founding father Benjamin Franklin in 1733. As competitors in the market, Franklin decided to go after his rival to boost sales. In Franklin's 1733 edition of his almanac, Poor Richard's Almanac, he used astrological techniques to predict that Titan Leeds would die on October 17th that year. While Franklin approached the feud in a humorous way, Titan took things seriously and retaliated in his publication, saying Franklin has manifested himself a fool and a liar for his antics. Franklin replied with mock outrage and hurt, saying Leeds was too well bred to use any man so indecently and so scrupulously. Therefore, the person saying these things must not be Titan Leeds, but a creature from the spirit world. Out of fun, Franklin publicly classed his rival's almanac publisher as a ghost brought back from the dead to haunt his enemies. The interesting thing about this is the traditional birth of the Jersey Devil, sometime in the mid-1730s, coincides with Titan Leeds' death. Today, the Jersey Devil has become popular culture. In 1982, the professional hockey team Colorado Rockies moved to New Jersey. The fans chose their enduring legend as the team's new name. The Jersey Devil has also been made popular by TV and movies. It has been featured on 2 History Channel series, Monster Quest and Weird US. The sci-fi series, Weird or What, focused on one family's terrifying encounter with the Jersey Devil. The movie The 13th Child was also released on Halloween in 2002. There are even groups completely dedicated to looking for the famous Jersey Devil. While many of the elements that led to the creation of the Jersey Devil legend remain shrouded in so much mystery that even monster experts don't understand, the historical facts must also be taken into consideration. The Quaker rivalries, the Almanac Wars, Daniel Leeds and his son Titan, as well as Daniel's death of his wives, the monstrous Leeds crest, the mindset of the people during the colonial era have all drifted away into the mist of time, leaving only the hazy notion of a terrifying inhabitant in the Pine Barrens known as the Jersey Devil. We want to give a special shout out to our member, Virginia Studebaker. Thanks, Jenny.